Hello, everyone, and welcome to this fine new episode of the Ubuntu Touch Q&A, the UBports Foundation show discussing the development of Ubuntu Touch and our community's questions. This is episode 140 now, streamed live on May 11th, 2024. My name is Alfred, and joining tonight is Appling.
Atlee, thank you. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so we should check out the notes because we are, as we always say, trained professionals and we have notes.
Exactly.
What has happened over the past 2 weeks? We have a few things going on here that are related to the development. And those things are mostly getting ready for, or not getting ready, setting expectations again, but putting more things in the basket of bringing Noble up on par with what we're doing right now with Focal, bringing it up in the first place. So it's still not there to be booted, and we don't have images available now at the moment, but we are working towards something that is pretty soonish, at least testable, I suppose, not really usable by any stretch of the imagination. There have also been some changes to enable switching between different binder and drill plugins in Ophono, which means that porters might have the ability to, in the future, change what plugins they want to enable on the phone for calling. So one of them is basically the legacy one, legacy quote unquote, in a fast-moving world, binder plugin, and the other one is another binder plugin which enables Hybris adaptations to basically have calling working on the device. There's also some changes in allowing the Lomiri weather app to build as a depth package again and stuff like that. So what else do we have here? A little bit of translation stuff, and also making Lomiri session work or work better under non-Ubuntu systems, I see, making it compilable in the first place. There's also some changes with regards to having Mir and Qt Mir in the two different versions, meaning 1.x and 2.x, play nicely together. And yes, so I hope my audio is not dropping too much here. I've been told that the quality is not good right now.
Yeah, just the video. The audio is fine. I hear.
Okay. Yay. Good. So also a little bit of styling here with the button style and the Lomiri UI toolkit, making the theming respect some other colors now with regards to the button style, and compiling Trust Store with Boost 1.84. There are more technical changes like fixing building of the address book service against Ubuntu Noble and Debian testing, so that those things also work on other distributions and better so than they did before, in terms of making them compilable. And yeah, various different enablement changes that allow the system to be composed in the first place for various distributions, so that Lomiri and its components are able to be built against newer Debian testing and newer Ubuntu's, and the list goes on, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of work to have a new version, but still faster than when we had to do the Focal.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, well,
So,
changing from 1604 from Xenial to Focal allowed us to rethink a lot of things on how to do the development itself. We stuck with that, and it paid off. So this is something that we're pretty proud of, so that in the future we're able to more quickly move towards a newer release during development.
yeah, and On this note, I will add that uh, yeah, we made some mistakes in the past, I guess, or we made
Mhm.
some not optimal decisions.
Called
But
technical debt, and it's not nice.
yeah, because it's not really mistake; it's more like iteration. We
Yeah,
try something, it doesn't work. We try something else, it's better. And
yeah.
but people are still not satisfied of everything, and
Mm,
we can't satisfy everyone. So yeah, we just have to keep iterating and to continue the good work because yeah,
definitely.
we will continue to make decisions that are not the best one. Yeah. And I heard last time, I think it was you discussed with Marius and Florian about coming back home.
What do you mean?
The home screen on the computer touch, the fact that we
VT?
don't have one, the desktop, we don't have a
Yes.
desktop.
Yes, we don't have a home screen. We don't yet have one, and we don't know if we will ever have one.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, I think yeah, it was brought back in the forefront of the scene, but yeah, it's something that a decision was made. It was maybe not the best, maybe not a terrible thing neither.
yeah.
And yeah, so we just have to keep pushing. And if we can bring back scopes,
Mhm.
yeah, it will be
Or
great,
whatever.
but it will have to be in a proper way
Yeah.
because
Or
we.
widgets, for example. If someone really wants to have widgets
Hmm.
and have something of an okay, you spawn a process and Lumiri places the widget of that process of that Wayland window somewhere on the on the home screen. That would be it. That would be
Yeah,
cool. I'm not against that. It's just we need someone to do it, and we can't do everything by ourselves. We really need help here.
yeah,
Just so that I mean, setting expectations again. This is important to remember that we can't do everything with our limited resources with only a few hands working on it. And if others want to work on that and they have an idea and they're willing to do so in tandem with anyone else, with someone else in the community, maybe they are not against getting guided towards the right direction, then sure, I can't see much of a problem here.
yeah. So if you want something, like always in open source community projects, raise a hand and say that you will have to do the work probably
Right.
because
Getting
it's
someone,
already hard to have something running. So yeah,
yeah, I mean, getting to a feature is only as good as the weakest link working on it. And if no one is working on it, then no one is going to get it.
yeah,
So remember that, right? I mean, that's think of it this way: if nobody wants to do it other than you, if nobody wants it other than you, and you're the only one doing it, you get to own it. It's also a nifty thing about it.
yeah.
All right. So I think that's about it for the news. This.
Yeah, I was thinking about the app thing in the
Oh, yeah.
news category because it's yeah updated, so new apps or new
Sure.
version of the apps.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, so I will just share my screen if I can do it. I can't.
Should I share the screen?
Yeah, yeah,
Next
you can
page.
share
There,
or yeah, put it to stage. Okay.
there it is.
Um, so yeah, this week we have Einkopfzettel. Sorry
Yes.
for
Well
butchering the
done.
name, but
Well done.
yeah, it has been updated. Yeah, on April the 27th. So maybe you mentioned it last time, but
We had we had big trouble last time getting the list sorted and mentioning the right apps. So I think
yeah.
it's not a bad idea to mention them again right now.
Okay. Yeah, so a simple app to manage your shopping list, which is always useful, except if you, like me, do it with app with because it's a drive thing that I use. We have also Photopea, an unofficial web app for photopea.com. I don't know what it does, but giving the screenshot, it seems to be about picture and like a online version of GIMP.
Something like that. Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, seems pretty nifty.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's paying or not, but free online photo editor. So no, it seems to be free. Great.
Cool.
We also have another web app, Habitica, which is, I don't know, it's a free habit building and productivity app. But giving the screenshot, it's, oh, Brian. Okay, so this is from Brian Douglas. Great.
Yeah.
Anna, I like the icons. It looks like a game. More than a productivity thing.
I would call that productivity if you do it the right way.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right kind of productivity.
We also have another game, the Mini Market Farm, which is a fork. You can just, it's mostly for kids, but it's stated that it can be also for grown-ups. And I guess why not? You drag and drop different animals in your picture of the farm, and animals can play sounds. So yes, it's really interactive and fun for nice small kids.
Yeah.
We have your screen recorder. You've updated it, so really useful to describe an issue with something, or even to try to describe some events and describe a procedure or something. It's easy to share, and also for demonstration, like you did for your different projects, like one we won't mention until the questions.
Also, I mean, coming from other platforms which already had those types of things, I really thought, I want this. Let's make it. And now I really, because demonstrating things that way is very often more appreciable or like understandable, graspable when you take a look at something, and instead of typing, "Oh, this is the new feature," you can actually showcase it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, really interesting. And and another one of yours is a drive that will allow you to put some ISOs from for different distributions. So, yeah, you've updated your apps.
Yeah, I've updated this one specifically because of the icon. I found it in a Zuro-based icon theme pack.
Yeah.
And I figured, okay, I like this icon and it's fair to use it, so let's put it there.
Okay, great. We also have an updated version of Amazfish. We discussed about it just after first day, I think, when we started reviewing those new updated applications. So this is the application to communicate with your Amazfish device or some other smartwatches. Like we have the Core Maven 2, Pine Time, also Infinite Time, Spangle JS, and Asteroid OS. So Asteroid OS is supporting quite a lot of smartwatches. So yeah, it's promising. I found my smartwatch. I found it in a box, and I will have to switch the battery and try it out.
Yeah.
We've got another app for kids by Brian Douglas, or maybe not for kids, because you may want to learn how some animals do some noise, like if the cat is barking or is the elephant mooing. I don't know.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's cute. I love It's quite simple, but it's lovely. Deco, one of the most useful app that is not part of the system
Yes.
at installation. It's our own client, email client. So
Mhm.
works sometimes better than others, but most of the time it's okay for me.
Yeah. Also, what I like about this new update is consolidating new messages in the notification that you get instead of you. For example, if you have ever experienced that, turning on a phone that you put in the drawer and you pull it out after a half a year or so, you turn it on, and it gets all those email notifications. That problem is gone now, and you can finally get to okay that you've got 50 new messages, 50 new emails instead of going through all of them in notifications sequentially. So that is
Yeah,
something that I was looking forward to very much.
yeah, that's great. And yeah, so Deco really useful to have a web client, um, an email client. And
Mm,
now we have Sapo browser, which is another browser, but it's also based on the same Qt web engine as Morph.
mm.
So, but Kugi made a really nice interface. I love the gesture he put into the browser. Yes, there's a uh, advertisement for his home website. But see here, we and everything happens at the bottom like it should be, and you have a lot of contextual features. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's a great browser.
oh yeah,
I use it often, but has the same problem with a website saying that okay, your version is too old or it doesn't work because it's made for specific version of let's say Chrome or Firefox.
yeah.
We've got also an update of WebWish,
Wegwijs,
which let's say it again.
wegwijs, or wegwijs.
WebWish.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay, I'm trying to match your trying. Yeah, so about showing current traffic incidents in the Netherlands and also the price of gas and I guess it's also for yeah both what is called gasoline and the other one is I don't know what they are called, but different type of
Car
gas.
juice. It's called
Yeah,
car juice.
cow juice exactly.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's cow juice. I know that.
Established a new phrase here.
It's oil. No, not oil.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
god.
thank you,
You
Sender.
spend a lot of fun on the stream.
Senders update this app quite often, so that's nice to see it active.
Also, I really enjoy seeing it grow with every week that we have our like little get-togethers where we talk about development stuff and whatever they are working on, and seeing it grow like that is very, very satisfying because it looks very well done, and seeing it from quote unquote behind the scenes how it's growing, I really enjoy how it's growing. So it's really cool stuff here.
Yeah, and we have also a simple note app called Notebook from Matek Kolarevich. I don't know.
I have no clue.
So Matej. Yeah, simple, clean design. I like it.
Yeah, really good.
So yeah,
Oh, wow, that really looks nice.
yeah, it did. It's
Wow.
simple, efficient, and
Yeah.
yeah, I like it. It's a clean design.
Oh, and
Okay.
even convergent. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, not taking application. Great. We have several of those, but it's good
Yeah,
to
this
have the
this one is probably
choice.
one of the better looking ones, I have to admit.
Yeah,
Better than our default one.
yeah. We have also a layout for YouTube Music, so it's a full app. So it's done some development to put the styling in.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's also clean looking. If you like to listen to music from YouTube, or if you are they have something to pay. I guess. I think it was called YouTube Red at some point. I think,
Mhm.
but I think they have something specific for music right now. But I'm not sure. Not a real a Google fan. We also have mileage, which also helps you compute your consumption, or miles per gallon, or miles per kilometers per liter. Because yes, you can switch it. I guess I think I saw it.
Oh well.
It doesn't show in the screenshot, but I think you can switch it to kilometers and liters.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's written here. The app will show either miles per gallon or liters per 100 kilometers. Yeah, so could be interesting for people wanting to control their average consumption of gasoline. Rockwork, another
Yeah.
smartwatch companion app. So this one is specifically for Pebble. I think it's mostly Pebble. Yeah, Pebble Classic
Oh yeah.
Steel, Pebble Time, Time Steel, Pebble Time Round. Yeah. They have a round one.
Oh yeah, they do.
I do like the round watches, but I prefer my old ones, mechanical. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
growing a lot in features, and seeing it grow like that, or in also in stability,
yeah,
is very nice to see, especially with Moab working on it like that. So it's really good stuff.
yeah.
Really nice.
Thanks, Mohammed. And we have a game, Cut the Rope 2. So yeah, this is a new adventure based on from is there a bigger capture? No, it's a
Nope.
small image, but yeah. Basically, you just have to use your finger to swipe and cut the rope, and the little animal thing will
Animal thing.
get released and try to catch some candies. So you have to cut at the right time.
Exactly.
It's fun. I did enjoy the version one, but it seems to be the second opus.
I think that's
We
now
also
coming to the last one right now.
not the last one, but another two. Yeah, two remaining.
Wow.
Yeah, we have Widrate Helper, which is an app made by Aaron, the issue guy. Thank you, because this is really useful for people trying to install and configure Widrate. So basically, you install it on your phone, and it will help you configure and customize Widrate to your needs. So yeah, that's a nifty little app. Really useful, fully appreciated by people that are using Widrate. So
Mhm. There we go.
yeah, and the last one is UT Chess.
Oh yeah, nice.
Chess game, yeah, for Ubuntu Touch.
Finally.
Yeah, 3 level of difficulty, so that's great. You can choose if you want to start or not. So yeah, and
Yeah.
simple design, classic design.
I might give it a shot because I got to the first time in my life experience a little bit of chess, trying to play chess at least against
Yeah.
someone at the hospital, and that one was a quite interesting experience. So much so that I really enjoyed it, figuring out or getting to know the a first glimpse about how the game works,
Yeah.
and it's really cool.
And yeah,
So,
so thanks, Ali Beyas, for bringing chess to Ubuntu Touch. I don't mention this one, Antiot. I will just mention it fast because it's just a bookmark to it's a web app, just a link towards a website. So
right.
something that you can also create yourself with. I don't remember the name. Brain doesn't function really great today. Sorry.
In a long
Uh,
week.
yeah, how it's called? Uh, I have to cheat and check on my phone. Weber.
Whatever, there it is. Right.
Yeah, Weber. So yeah, you can use Weber. You know, and yeah, so a lot of new versions or new apps for some. So that's great. It's
Yeah.
always nice to see that the open store is actively developed on and that we
Mhm.
have new updates frequently. That's great.
Definitely.
Thank you, every contributors.
There we go. There we go. Also see a nice comment here by someone. Just got my first Ubuntu Touch phone yesterday, and I'm loving the experience. Glad it works for you. Very nice.
Yeah, congratulations.
And it's Pixel 3a XL. Look at that.
Yeah,
So
I have the small one.
yeah, I got the third one right now of the Pixel 3a's because I like the way it looks, and I like the. You know what? It's like this. It's feature complete in the sense not only because everything works, but because not one feature is wasted. Like,
Yeah,
okay, there's maybe one of them, and that is the squeeze sensor that you can squeeze the device on Android, and we are not hooking into that from Ubuntu Touch. But other than that, it's pretty much everything that you can see on the device you can use, and there is not too many eyes of a camera on there, which you cannot switch at the moment. But there's only one good, well quality, like great quality camera on it, and that one is it's sufficient for what I use, and I don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles of the desktop uh, for desktop mode. And I see Ubuntu Podcast Portugal here. Now I want to squeeze. There we go. Yeah, great to see people being happy with Ubuntu Touch.
yeah.
All right, there's another question that I would like to pick before we go over to other things. Which device would you suggest to support USB-C to enable desktop mode and has SD card support? Fairphone 4. Fairphone 4 has support for those things and works pretty decently. More than just decently, it works pretty well
Yeah.
and has been working so for quite a long time already. And the performance is quite good. So in that sense, we are at a point where those devices really can showcase what Ubuntu Touch is capable of. Okay, should we head over to the sponsors?
Oh, I guess yeah. Uh, will you do the honor or should I?
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll go. I'll take the first sponsor, and you can take the patrons if you want.
Okay, I will
Okay,
mispronounce the
great.
name of our patrons.
So, thanks to everyone sponsoring to Ubuntu Touch and donating their time and energy and efforts to us. And you can do so via this link, uberports.com/donate. And taking on, we have these fine folks sponsoring to us. Smooth, Voila, Pine64, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, GitLab, Weinstein, OCA, Gardner and Associates Consulting Inc., Netlify, Cloudron, CodeLuton, Tixia, and Gandhi.net. There we
Yeah.
go.
And we would like also to thank our patrons. Sorry for butchering your names, but you know the drill. So thank you, Athil, Asmund Kopang, Boris Flohaus, Daniel Franchak, David Seal, JT Brook, Jose Angel Escua, Keyboards Holding, Kenneth Drew, Linus Rune, Lothar Ketterer, Mike Adamietz, Marco A., Michael Kellner, Peter Mack, Philip Speicher, Rakesh PK, Robert Haley, Robin Hood, Rudy Harudi, Spendy Hoos, Stephen Cald, Stephen Granger, Sorolf San and Sabine Schwarzer, and Will Atwood. Thanks everyone for donating to Even to Touch. And also a big thanks to all the people giving time and efforts into this community, because that's also important. Important. Oh, my brain not working.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks everyone.
So oh, we said it at the same time. Nice.
Yeah. Jinx.
There we go. All right. So I think we should head over to the questions, and we take these questions every 2 weeks from the forums, mostly, other than live questions, and they get posted around. The call for questions get posted like 5 days, 6 days before the stream.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Usually it's posted on Tuesday, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And right. So the first question is from Messaisto and is asking you, Alfred. So if you're around tonight, and you are, could you be so kind and report about your browser project again?
Sure, yes. I'm very glad to do so. And I have prepared a little video again, showcasing the current state of the whole thing. Let me add it to the stage. Here we have DuckDuckGo. First of all, you might not be able to see it right now, but there's a little bit of blur behind the URL bar in case you haven't seen it. Now, we go to webkit.org, and it loads, and you can see the bottom bar change the color to match the theming of the WebKit website, including the bottom edge. It changes the theming based on which pages focused at the moment. You can also quickly jump between the tabs using the bottom edge gesture. Again, a little bit of color, playing around with the colors here. And as you can see, the tabs are starting to work. They're not completely done yet, but they will probably very soon. And now having 4 tabs open by now, you can see also the URL bar matching it the width so that all the items can fit that are in the bottom edge bar. And yeah, I mean, it's getting to a point where performance is not bad at all. Videos don't necessarily work at the moment, but that has to do with GStreamer Hybris and the WebKit browser not necessarily knowing how to treat the contents of a video at the moment. So our part of decoding the video works. It's just how to present that into the website. And for that, we still need to figure out a few things. We have an idea on how to do it. It's just needing some special work here to integrate it well with WebKit and other applications. But assuming we get it to a point where it works with WebKit, it will also enable to work with other applications too that provide GStreamer GL integration. So that is one of the interesting things, to get WebKit as a basic first target to get something to work with, and have other things benefit off of that as well. So that the GStreamer video decoding support and video displaying video, actually the presentation of the video, into an OpenGL application or OpenGL application works as we expect. So that is another thing that I really like. So yeah, there's also some ongoing work with upstream at least, with having the canvas, the HTML canvases work with Skia instead of Cairo. And Cairo is one of those libraries that has a little bit of time behind it,
Yeah.
but Skia is the hot new stuff out there, and it's specifically getting integrated into WebKit right now. But it's not fully finished. You might have seen a little bit of mispositioning of tiles of the web page, like
Um,
almost looked like corruption in the video. I very quickly scrolled past that. Excuse me, to not showcase it too much, but it's getting there, so to say, and it's getting to a good point at the moment. So I
yeah.
really like how the thing is going, and yeah, there's also a few. There are a few plans. Also, what I've also added is file uploading with Content Hub, so that you can take whatever input file you want to take it from, whether it being from Morph browser into this WebKit browser, which is now has a different name, but I'm not going to mention it now. Uh, which allows, or from the file picker, from the gallery, from other
Yeah.
applications that provide like data to other applications that you can import data from. That works as well now, and it works
Yeah,
pretty
and
well.
does copy and paste also work from and to the browser?
It will when Wayland is fully implemented. So one technical detail here: it uses Wayland exclusively, also on Hybris devices. So that means that, and we don't have with Mir 1.x, we don't have integration to the clipboard with Wayland. You cannot copy and paste with that one between Mir and Wayland applications. But on, I would presume, in Wayland only environments where everything works together pretty well, it should work. You cannot even just swipe up from the bottom when the OSK is open, when the on-screen keyboard is open, and tap the paste button. Also, that doesn't work, and it just has no idea how to treat the clipboard at the moment. When it does, it will
Okay.
work, but that's more of a system side development rather than WebKit. Just as much as the GStreamer Hybris um, enablement is more of a system-wide development rather than application-wide development. But it showcases where we're lacking and where we can improve and where we will improve.
Yeah, that's the ripple effect, good
Yeah.
effect. And did you mention another project of yours at the beginning? I don't remember. I don't think so.
I have not mentioned it yet, but I mean, I can take chance right now to showcase it.
Yeah, I will make the transition for you because this ripple effect that we discussed about, yeah, when you work on such feature like the GStreamer
Mhm.
thing, it's because of your needs right now, the web browser, you want to have it, and it will benefit others that will use GStreamer in another apps. So yeah, this is always nice to have more developers on board, and I think a way to do that is by the premise of mobile devices, that you can work and use your phone as a workstation. And for many of us developers, it means having an IDE on your phone. And
Yes, there we go. I can showcase something if you want. I've recorded something. And
yeah,
that is another version of Tide that I have. I mean, just as a little segue here, I have been working on my multi-platform WebAssembly development environment again. Uh, Not only for Ubuntu or Snap or whatever Linux system, but also on the iPad. And for that, I would like to put this here. This is the new version of Tide that I've released recently onto the App Store. And what it showcases is this new console that it pops up from the bottom, and you can do all the the things that you expect from an IDE inside of Tide, integrated into Tide very easily. You can step through the code. You can use the debugger. You can also continue the thing. You can reach a breakpoint. You can check the values of the variables and what is pointed at the moment. You can see the call stack. And the console also can, because it's stuck on the bottom right now, but you can also pop it out, which you will probably see later. This is just a little bit of a demonstration. There you see it, popping it out, and it becomes an overlay. And the same also works in Ubuntu and Ubuntu Touch. So if you're willing to support me and some of my efforts in the open source community, please take a look at Tide and get it, or spread the word to everyone who has an iPhone or an iPod or iPad, and sharing the word and getting the word out, so that I can keep doing what I really like to do, and that is doing open source software development. Because this is also open source. Here you can see a new support for exceptions that has not worked before. So you can finally write code with exceptions, should you be interested in doing that. And what else have I done here? I have to check the video myself. I think that was about it. I think that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Pretty complete, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
pretty usable and feature complete. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, it's getting to a point where I can not only work with WebAssembly CLI tools, but also in the future, I want to provide a way to make WebAssembly web pages with that. And then it's getting real serious, because you can write only so much. You can only do so much with the CLI tool, but the web is hot new stuff, yo. And yeah, so that, and also maybe some SDL, OpenGL goodness for local applications, so that the nitty-gritty details are implemented in WebAssembly, but they actually allow displaying windows on the system using whatever the system does, so that you can have a full SDL application running on your tablet. So that is something that I'm looking forward to at the moment. Yeah, so that's about it for Tide. Again, if you want to support me, search for Tide IDE on the App Store and get it from there. All right. So we also do have two questions from Christopher. When will the rootfs for Focal be added to Jenkins? I'm not sure if the question was regarding Focal or Noble. We do have the rootfs for Focal on Jenkins. That's where every CI build gets its image from. But yeah, maybe you can, if you, I think you're in the chat right now. Maybe you can clarify what you mean. The second one is, say that one would like to patch a new release of Android, like 14 or 15, to build UBports, or Ubuntu Touch rather. Are there any step-by-step instructions on how to do that on devices that aren't necessarily supported by the Travel project? I'm interested in what to look for and how to help out. I'm not saying that I know about patching, but I'm willing to learn how to patch Android branches for the future. So that sounds like going back to the Halium 7.1 days, where we specifically had to ship all the vendor blobs in the system image for the device, which means it's not impossible. It's just a little bit, we got used to Treble a lot, and it allows us to move quickly at a pace where we can ship a very recently built or recent Android-based build of a system image, not immediately, and also not short term, but over a manageable time span. So all that is necessary for it to be working, you pretty much need to look at what the existing Halium 9 and Plus branches are doing. like, for example, the hybrid patches, where most of the changes that are required to run on an Android-based device are historically noted down. All the patch files, all the diffs are in there. So in that sense, you can base your ideas on what we did in the past and get a rough idea of what to do, like getting, for example, what is usually on Linux systems managing the device nodes, UDEV. There's also UEventD on Android, which basically manages how to set up your device nodes for the system so that user space applications or system components know how to talk to the hardware. And those things, that and the init system of Android, that one needs patching. Other things need patching. Sometimes Bionic, the C library for Android, needs patching here and there. So there are a lot of things that need to be figured out. But they have been figured out for previous versions. Sometimes new things come along in the newer Android versions, and they require a little bit more adaptation. But the general rule of thumb is just take a look at what we already did in the previous Android-based Halium builds, and take a look at that and get inspired by that. And maybe sometimes even some patches can be applied as is, not very often, but sometimes.
Yeah, and what do you think is the fastest? Patching to a newer version of Android, like going from a version 7 or 9 to 14 or 15, or just trying to port it for this new target, given if we have the Halium version.
I don't get the question right now. Could you repeat, please?
Which do you think is the more efficient? What is the fastest in your opinion?
Well,
Patching things or just trying a new port for the device? Because I'm not sure I understand fully the question, but in my mind it sounded like okay, I have a device based on Android, let's say 9, and I want to bring it with a newer version of the kernel or the different patches for the libc or anything.
Well, I mean, patching it and getting a rough idea while doing it is already pretty time consuming. We only got where we are, specifically Notkit and others who are mostly involved in those areas. I would have to assume, I'm not them, but I would have to assume that they also only got a rough idea on what to do or what to expect in the future by working with something that already was there, and they knew how it worked, and they had something to extrapolate from.
Yeah.
But coming back to the non-treble argument, or the non-treble part about the question, a lot of things are now expecting treble to be there, especially devices that have recently been released. So I don't see much of a need or necessity to expect that device-specific, quote-unquote, 100% device-specific ports are even doable nowadays. There are many things like the vendor partition that are already on devices out now that you can get pretty easily. They have their vendor partitions, and I think that's even mandated by Android by now, if I'm not mistaking it right now. So not much of a necessity to do that. If you want to bring an older device to a new Android, then that's probably going to be a bigger issue, because the vendor blobs, they expect a certain version of Android to be there, and you can't just take a Halium 7 device and make it easily work with Android, with Halium 11, for example. That's not going to work. That's going to require a lot of changes. It's not impossible, but surely not by any stretch of the imagination be a manageable effort. So you're better off just getting a treble device and taking what is already there and adapting it to the point where it's feasible to release it.
All right. Yeah, that's interesting. But it shows that it's not easy to bring another operating system to those devices because they were developed with a fast pace and with guidance from Google, but they don't maintain them so long. So after that,
Yes,
you're on your own. And even if some parts are open source, it's a lot of hacking to get things done.
exactly. Yes. But yeah, also the Snap enablement that we're working on right now as part of bringing snaps over to Ubuntu Touch and allowing them to run with full hardware access or hardware acceleration for the first step. There are certain devices like the Halium 10 MediaTek ones, which specifically require a hack in the system. And since Snap, in a sense, is the system to the applications, they don't, right now at least, work properly. Doesn't mean that they will never work, but it surely needs a little bit of coordination and a little bit of effort on everybody's part who wants that to be fully supported. And so there are certain things to keep in mind there when talking about Halium and how to adapt something from Halium or a Halium system and making regular Linux applications work with that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess we can tackle some questions from the chat. Uh, this one has been answered, but I guess it's. Oh, I don't have possibility to
What
show them
you
because I'm
mean,
a
the
guest.
X6 tablet ones?
Yeah, the
This one.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Actually, we do have the ability because our PDK, our platform development kit, which is a virtual machine with Ubuntu Touch on a mainline system, already exists. It's not impossible. We have something to base the idea off of to provide an x86 tablet with a pre-installed, fully featured Ubuntu Touch environment. Um, it's going to be different from Ubuntu Desktop running on the thing, but certainly something that is workable and not impossible to do. It just needs someone who is willing to maintain the thing and providing changes that are required to build the images for that specific tablet or for other x86 tablets in that sense.
Yeah, and also yeah, the Fingerman 37 added that the issue is often with the BIOS. So
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes those devices cannot be unlocked, which means they're even more locked down than the Android devices from certain manufacturers. So you cannot make use of them in that sense, which is a bummer. But sometimes they can be changed. And if you do have an x86 tablet and you want it to run Ubuntu Touch, there shouldn't be anything holding you back. There won't be a pre-done dinner for you on a silver plate either, but it's not impossible.
yeah. Yeah.
I see someone figured out the browser's name. Yes, it's called Mimi Browser now, and I really enjoy the name and I really liked it, so I stuck with it instead of Web Hunt, which sounds like a very, very, very bad counterfeit stuff situation to Safari, if you ask me. It's a code name, but Mimi is the name that is gonna be that this app is gonna be released at with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a cuter name.
Yeah.
Um, Christopher also asks, can we start a UBports Sweden so that I can perhaps broadcast in Swedish?
Uh,
Um,
Maybe there are more even unofficial, like Mastodon groups or groups, but not groups, but accounts
yeah,
sharing the word and shouldn't stop you. But as long as you're unofficial, please mention that you're unofficial. And if you want to be official, please mention that you want to be official. So, but I don't think it's impossible. So,
no, and yeah, the UBports is a foundation, but it's all mainly the community. So
yeah,
as a member of the community, you can. But yeah, if it's a personal initiative, then and okay, you would like to be official, so great. Then you can contact the the foundation and ask for support there,
yeah.
and we will review it. I guess.
Also, there I see this question about can maybe also other devices support external monitor and keyboard? Maybe, but if you want something that already works and you don't want to waste time and effort, maybe take a look at the Fairphone 4, because really there's no point in trying to shoehorn something that doesn't want to be worked with. Many Chinese devices can't necessarily be unlocked, or if they do allow so, will take a long time for them to be unlocked, because you need an unlock code, and getting that one takes time with an arbitrary number, or with an arbitrary time span to wait. And really, there's like this one Terminator scene in the weapons shop. Hey, just what you see here, pal. So to say.
Yeah, so they can purchase
Oh,
it
it can be.
in
Oh,
their country, so that's
oh,
a big issue, I guess. But
hmm.
yeah,
Right. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can take a look at some that support it on Android, and you can port it if you're interested in doing so, and support a new device. Be the boss of a new device port, so to say. And
yeah,
it's also a manageable thing, I think.
and yeah. Um, Also, you can head to devices.ubuntu-touch.io and check whether the external monitor works.
Mhm.
It will give
If you're
you information, but yeah,
if you're okay with wireless display and not necessarily needing a wired cable, even the Pixel 3a supports the wireless support thing. So you can take a Miracast adapter connected to the monitor, and you can completely wirelessly, take the phone, put it on the desk next to you, and work with the monitor, mouse, and keyboard in desktop mode. And it's not bad at all. It works pretty decently, even though this device only has 4 gigs of RAM and CPU and SoC from 2019. So that's speaking for Ubuntu Touch there. And if you don't necessarily need the wired capabilities, but you're okay with a Miracast dongle, that could also work. Okay, I see we're coming up to the hour right now.
we have a last question maybe from Conspy. What is the
Yeah,
newest Helium available?
I think that's 13 in development at the moment. 12 certainly is out, but those are the most recent ones at the moment. I'm not necessarily sure if we have newer ones than that. Maybe I'll get updated very soon about that. But for now, it's volume 13.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, okay. Another one before we go.
yeah,
What about iPhone Pro? Is it supported? Yes, it is. And thanks to what's his face again, Oren and Luigi, both of them. They did a really great job at bringing the PinePhone Pro to a spot where it works pretty well. And I'm glad that we have another set of great updates to those mainline based devices also. So thanks again, hats off, and keep up the great work.
yeah. It's always good to have more devices available, and
Yeah.
And we love what Pine 64 is doing to open sourcing the hardware side of things. And
Right.
that's great. That's helpful.
All
And
right.
yeah, people complain about performance and want always better devices, faster devices. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
we
we
don't use that much resources. It's fine with an older device specifications.
exactly. Also, if you really want a new shiny device, you don't want necessarily to have a Pine Tap or Pine Phone or something. You want something different, and you want something different because you complain about the devices being what they are, but they are good for what they are, right? And they have their spot, and not only on the devices page, but also in our hearts. So there we go. I think that's about it for this week. Any final things you want to mention?
No brain, no working today.
I hope you get it into maintenance mode.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So thanks everyone to anyone involved and making this show possible. Thanks for everyone watching or listening in. This has been a great episode, I think, and we will see and hear of each other in the next one.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
There we go. In 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Bye, everyone. Bye
bye.
bye. How long?